I have been talking about birth rate trends globally. Now I want to talk about Cuba. So the title of this one is Cuba's Demographic Crossroads, No Working Age Young People in Sight. The island is already the oldest country in Latin America and the Caribbean. 2 out of every 10 Cubans are at least 60 years old, and by 2030, that group will be 30% of the population. Cuba is facing a crossroads in the midst of one of its biggest economic crises in history. How to recover when its society is aging rapidly and it does not have a young workforce to produce. The island is already the oldest in the country of Latin America and the Caribbean. 2 of every 10 Cubans are at least 60 years old. This means that of the 11.1 million Cubans, about 2.4 million exceed 60. This is the result of social policies implemented decades ago that have lengthened life expectancy, approximately 79 years old for both sexes. However, this brings with it the problem of economic and social point of view. It is a challenge in the order of the economically active population that is smaller and the social security and health and protection systems for the elderly. That is to say, there are more and more elderly people and fewer young people of working age to sustain the country's economic activity and in the long run to finance the pension system. So they don't have enough young people working to take care of the older folks. Data from the National Statistics and Information Office showed that there was a little less than 100,000 births, 99,000 births, and over 167,000 deaths in 2021. Cuba's demographic performance is similar to that of developed nations: low fertility, high life expectancy, but the difference is that they are countries that receive immigrants and also counteract demographic aging with their economic development. The number of dependent people is also increasing. So those are the people that are alive, but they're not really working. The retirement age in Cuba is 60 years old for women, 65 for men. Now, let's talk economy and migration. Last year, 313,000 Cubans were intercepted on the U.S. southern border. So a lot of Cubans are trying to leave Cuba. Cuba has had a negative migratory balance since 1930, and that was reinforced as of 1959 when the revolution triumphed, which is why it loses population in full reproductive and productive capacity. The fertility rate in Cuba is 1.4 kids per woman, one of the lowest in the region. And they seem to be talking the same stuff that other people are talking, daycare centers, nursing home, maternity homes, but we will see if they implement it because the global economy is still going down, as are birth rate trends. So this is the total fertility rate decrease from Latin America and the Caribbean. In 1960, the total fertility rate was around 6 children per woman. As of 2020, the total fertility rate has dropped to about 2 children per woman. So that shows, man, that drop is pretty dramatic. And so for the people that are always spouting off about these women that are all about the family and wanting to produce children, maybe they were doing that because they didn't have a choice. Now that birth control is more widely spread, things are changing, but that's just me theorizing. This right here are the total fertility rates for all of the Latin American and Caribbean countries. You can see that most of these countries are below 2, with the exception of Bolivia, but everything else is right below replacement rate. The Dominican Republic, as you can see, it says 2.3, and Ecuador is right at replacement rate. But look at all these less than 2s. So there, well, it looks like there's a few more above the replacement rate, but everything else, look at this, all decreasing as well. Look at these numbers, they are all going down. So this is the trends, the global trends. You guys can jump in the comments and tell me what your theories are. I do need to look into more countries as far as the global trends to see if I can see anything specific. But this is Latin America and the Caribbean, and everything, globally, it looks like so many countries are on the downtrend, and women are saying, get somebody else to do it. Jump in the comments. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, share.